Hi everybody, it's 314 Reactor here, and here we are on Curse 4. We're looking at RTGI reshading again. It's because someone messaged me the other day saying that they wanted the INI file settings for the previous reshade video that I did on UT 2004. So I thought I'd go back and have a look at it. The old INI file I don't think would even work with the newest version of Reshade, so I thought I'd just start again. And I also added in some other things such as DLC Sharpen, Optical Flow, Regrade, Solaris, and some depth of field. Changed quite a few of these settings around. I've added in some levels, some special transforms. No color mapping though, so I don't know why that's there. I've also cranked up the RTGI settings really high, and I think they look pretty good. And the DOF is pretty strong as well. Some people may complain about that and say that it's a bit too blurry, but well. I think it looks cool. And I've also got Solaris on, which adds some extra coloring. So this, what we're seeing now, is Unreal Tournament 2004 in its natural state, out of the box almost, except it has an FOV fix and some anti-aliasing stuff on it as well, but it's basically vanilla. So what we do is we press the toggle button and all of the RTGI reshade stuff switches on, and here we go. How good does that look? I think that has switched up the whole look and makes it look like a later Unreal Tournament game. It looks a bit like Unreal Tournament 2005 or something. So that's what I mean about the depth of field. It's pretty heavy duty, but I think it looks fantastic, just with the fire in the background there. They've got that light spinning around, illuminating everything. Some nice bloom coming off of that. And if we have a look at the lighting channel, that looks smooth. The gun's still invisible, but there is still some lighting that comes off the gun onto the environment, which sucks a little bit. But there's not a lot we can do about that, so we're just not going to think about that too much. We've also got the pre-processed definitions on here. We've got use motion vectors, infinite bounces. Can't use sky color mode and image-based lighting because it causes RTGI to not be able to be compiled. Similar to the errors that these ones have, it's because it's DirectX 8 to DirectX 9 conversion. Instructions for how to get this set up with Reshade are in my previous video, which will be linked below and should be appearing in a little title card right now. So you can find out how to set that all up. I think sky color mode and image-based lighting didn't exist when I did the last video, so I'd never found out they didn't work, but obviously they don't work. Enable Solaris regrade and color parity with Solaris on the regrade don't work either. So we have to turn off image-based lighting and sky color mode, but material type and smooth normals are on, so everything should look relatively smooth and nice. We just won't have some of the extra little fancy effects, but we do have all the nice smooth normals, which means all of the lighting will be really nice. This is a map that I used before, and I think it looks really good. It's a really nice little showcase for RTGI. But we are going to be looking at some other maps as well. I just love the difference it makes when you switch the whole thing off. Like, it just looks so flat. And then boom. All of that extra ambient occlusion and lighting. The only trouble is, again, it doesn't affect the gun, which sucks. Because if we, again, look at the lighting channel, it's just not present. The only way we can get it present is to undo copy depth buffer before clear operations, but then you can't see the rest of the map. So you re-tick that, and yeah, very strange. So yeah, you got to make sure copy depth buffer before clear operations is selected. There's no need to worry about depth input buffer reversed or anything like that. So it's still a bit of a strange one. It works pretty damn nicely. And look at the Solaris effect on that lighting there. So if we turn Solaris off, you can see what it's doing. It's adding in loads and loads of extra shine, extra glare to that water effect, and it looks good. I mean, this could probably do some extra tweaking, but I've already been sat here for a good hour or two already. Yeah, I really like it, especially when that depth of field kicks in. Again, probably a bit too excessively strong, but man, that looks so good it doesn't even bother me. Let's have a look at the dragon here. Again, off, back on. It definitely brings the graphics of the game quite a few years ahead of where it was. And if we look at the frame rate, 62 FPS here, and I have cranked all of those RTGI settings pretty high. Again, the INI file will be in the description. You can switch some of these off, of course, and just use RTGI, but I've got the amount of rays set to 20, which is usually a frame rate killer, but it's okay on this with the 4090. Ray length is maxed, extended ray length multiplier, amount of steps per ray, that will kill the frame rate. I mean, occlusion's maxed out, bounce lighting is quite high, next bounce weight's maxed out. So these fire areas look really good, especially the fire effect with the bouquet depth of field. Oh my god, it looks incredible. Oh man, I love that. And the extra shininess from Solaris, fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. There'll also be a link in the description to a FOV fix, so you can get the widescreen And also have the field of view not be at 55. So all the weapons should look a little bit better there. So let's check out another map, because we've seen this one in the last video that I did. Also, just a note here, there is a little bit of weirdness on the floor there around the gun. You can see there's kind of a little bit of sparkliness there that sometimes appears when there's lighting. It's gone now, but you may see that a few times in the video. I think that's just something to do with RTGI and the settings being so cranked to the absolute max. So let's check out an outside level. Let's load up a bit of Albatross. So it's like a nice outdoory area. Ooh, look at that. You get this weird thing in spectator mode, but this will disappear soon. There we go. Oh, look at that. There's so much more color to it, and lighting, and brightness. And the depth of field. Oh, yeah. Turn all the effects off. Wow. And then all the effects back on. Ooh, yeah, it really sharpens up those textures. Oh man, adds in some extra lighting and everything. But we can also add in normal mapping. We're not going to leave this on, but can... Whoa, okay, that's a bit extreme. Not that. There we go, reflective bump mapping. So you give everything a kind of bump mappy look that kind of, again, brings it a bit more up to date. Sort of. I mean, the bump mapping effect isn't going to be perfect. Although it does look pretty damn good. Let's hit that frame rate though. It's taken us right down to 58, just below 60. Oof. Feels much laggier than that. I think they've improved the reflective bump mapping shader since I last used it. But yeah, it's not perfect. It does conflict a little bit with some of the other settings. But it does give it a bit more of that sort of mid-2000s kind of look. And you can also see areas here where blatantly the effect just stops working completely. Like it looks like the access to the depth buffer just dies in this little area completely. But anyway, we'll turn bump mapping off here. But yeah, this is strange. And then look, it all just randomly comes back in. So if we go to here and we go to the lighting channel, yeah, nothing. It's just completely lost access to the depth buffer and then kicks back in. I don't know why that is. It's a very strange game in terms of the depth buffer. Oh, look down there though. Whew, again, I'm not a photographer. I don't know anything about focal depth or anything like that. I've just made it super blurry. Oh. Just to get that bokeh effect, because it looks good. This map is really weird for that loss of the depth buffer. All links will be in the description, including the FOV fix, which you'll definitely want to make the guns not look terrible and stubby, and to actually have a decent FOV. Fortunately, again, because the gun isn't picked up by Reshade, you can see the reshade effects going through it, which is a bit distracting. That effect off right there, and then back on. Ooh. You can see it in the lighting channel. It looks really smooth with the rays all the way maxed out. It's because it's such an old game and it's a 4090. It just handles it really nicely. Look at that. Again, there's some depth issues because it can't quite tell what's where all the time. So you do get lighting in the distance when sometimes you shouldn't. But it is adding... You can see a lot of extra shadowing being added there. Like around that bridge and stuff. There's probably a bit too much shadow coming off that bridge there. It's probably something to do with the Z thickness. You can actually clean that up a little bit. We're taking that Z thickness down. And we still get that shadowing nicely in there. See, the Z thickness can add in tons of extra shadowing. But not the most realistic shadowing. So it's a bit of a balance. Because you do want that extra shadowing in there. Obviously, not to a ridiculous degree. So we'll leave that at 38 for now. Still gives us a nice level of extra shadowing without being too excessive. Just look at the difference. It really does make a difference. Especially in combination with that sharpening. Makes those textures look way less muddy and 2003 style. Okay, let's check out another map. Check out some Metallurgy. So again, you've got the skybox issue, which has gone in the game itself. Oh yeah, that extra lighting from those health packs. Effect off, back on. Really makes that, the combination of the RTGI and Solaris and the sharpening really makes that metal floor look a lot more like actual metal. Effect off. Oh wow, look, yeah. And then back on. Makes that lava look way better. It just hides some of the imperfections of some of the meshes and textures and stuff like that as well. Yeah. Because there's just lighting and shadowing that's just not really even there in the initial game. The area below it looks more realistically lit, and then the actual lava looks like it's actually lighting up and looks super ridiculously hot. So yeah, another reason I thought I'd make this video was because obviously Epic have delisted the Unreal Tournament games from Steam, GOG, and they will be removing the Unreal Tournament 4, the unfinished Unreal Tournament 4, from the Epic Store at some point. I think the 23rd of January. You can still use that with something called UT4UU, which will be a link in the description about that. But yeah, I thought it'd be good to spruce up UT2004 again because, yeah, there's been a lot of enhancements to the RTGI shader, as well as some extra stuff that Mike McFly has made on top of that as well. And yeah, it looks even better than before. So it was a good time to remake this video, as well as actually put the INI settings in the description this time. So the area that I find most fascinating is this truck, because with the effect off, oh my god, this area looks really horrendous. And the effect on looks a lot better. We can do a comparison of the FPS here as well. So it's 67 FPS with it on, and with it off, yeah, maxes out the refresh rate. So there is quite a bit of a cost, and this is 4K with a 4090. I've also toned down the reflectivity a lot this time as well. Last time I had that setting quite high up, and now I've got the roughness setting to about 75. So it's got a good deal of reflections, but it's not too shiny like it was before, which I think some people had a complaint about, which is fair enough. Because the reflectivity looks really good on metal and stuff, but when you just have it everywhere, it just looks too ridiculous. Facing Worlds 3. So of course, this is the kind of map where when you turn that reflectivity too high, it will look horrendous because obviously, you know, sand and dirt and mud isn't really reflective. But it did look good on the internal areas. But now we have a bit of a better balance. I think this was the thumbnail for the previous video. So if we turn the effect off. Whoa. Okay. Damn. Turn the effect back on. Look. Oh, wow. That's really nice. That's actually very, very nice. Look at the extra lighting from those pillars. Like the extra glow around them. The extra glow from the fire. They got like the sort of pre-baked sort of lighting they've got in there. And then when you turn the RTGI, it makes it look much more natural and up to date. That is really nice. Now we can sort of emulate what I did last time by turning the roughness down from 75. Whoa! Look at that! Oh my god, that's horrendous. This is probably somewhat what I had it at before. So it's really, really shiny. And it looks kind of good with those reflections in the floor and stuff. Trouble is that the moment you go outside, you know, the floor's all shiny out here. And it just looks a bit too ridiculous. Everything looks a bit too wet. So I think having that roughness setting at 75 is a good balance. And that is now just one setting. It used to be roughness and specular, but now it's just roughness. God, even the skybox looks bad, doesn't it? Looks like something from Riddick 2013. Awesome. Really tidies everything up. Even those not so good mip maps on that tower there on the right. And then when you turn the sharpening, it makes it look way better. And it works really nicely with the detail textures that UT2004 has. I mean, this is kind of a mix of me getting a bit better with the settings on Reshade, but also it's a case of the extra work that Mike McFly's done in adding these extra things in. There's also a link in the description about how you can get RTGI, and when you're on the Discord, once you've gone through the Patreon, you'll be able to pick up all of these through there, like Regrade, Solaris, DOF, all these things you'll be able to grab from there. I think Optical Flow just works alongside RTGI to make it a little bit faster, not 100% sure, and they're always updating it. There should be an update coming soon. I think there's an update every month, so this shows, I think it was, what, 3 years ago I did the, oh my god, yeah, just over 3 years ago I did the last video on this, and it's come a long way. And just look at the difference. Look at the difference. And back on. That looks so good. I can't believe how good that looks. There's almost like clipping with some of the shadowing up there, like the pre-baked shadows, like goes a bit too dark, and then the extra settings just cover that up nicely. Oh, look at the extra lighting there as well. I don't think that's... Yeah, that's not even there on the original game. You've just got, like, static fire lighting there, and then, boop, you've got, like, dynamic fire lighting coming off of that. You see, this is what it's going to be from now on. Because of Epic. Because Epic just don't want anything to do with Unreal anymore. And the Unreal Engine's becoming the Fortnite engine. This is how it's going to have to be. The fans of the games are going to have to update it and keep it alive. And if I can be a part of that, then... hell yeah, because I love Unreal Tournament. It's one of the things I really love is getting comments from you guys and likes and stuff like that. People getting excited about Unreal Tournament. It's the kind of dream I had when I was younger to be involved in the community in this way, and it's really, really cool. If you're still watching at this point, thank you very much. But anyway, let's continue on with our own custom remaster. I think this area is fairly similar to the red area, except it has a blue flame on it. Oh yeah, it is a blue flame. It really is adding global illumination in. Oh man, I can't wait for the entire Reshade app. And RTGI to get even better. Possibly with some sort of machine learning, neural rendering over the top or something, and then we can really go nuts. We can really bring these old games to make them look really incredible. All right, let's see what other maps we got. So there's a few custom maps that I have that I can install, which I may do for another video, but I think this was because this is the editor's edition of UT2004, so it has a whole bunch of extra stuff in it, including Face Classics. Let's turn the effect off here. Oh my god, yeah, look at the difference. Like, it definitely brings it forward a few years. Definitely. Because this would have been, what, Unreal Engine 2.5? And this brings it more forward to Unreal Engine 2.5, the latter half of that engine being used kind of thing. You know, kind of just pre-Bioshock kind of use of it. I'm going to start using Solaris a lot more as well. Because yeah, I've got some special transforms going. You can set the order of what you do them in. So you can set levels, special transforms. There's all sorts of other stuffs here like I don't even know how to use. I've just kind of guessed my way through it. And you can put them in different orders. I've sort of made it a bit darker and a bit more moodier. Really happy with how this has come out. How far does it go as well? Whoa! Whoa, yeah, look! I think that's Solaris. Wow! That makes a huge difference. Because it's not just the RTGI. It's also that extra lighting effect being added with Solaris. Like, you're getting extra light from the sun and that distant galaxy there. Really nice effect there. Can't quite explain what that effect is, but it certainly makes the whole... Because, yeah, RTGI is barely touching those areas because it's so far away. So a lot of this image right now is because of Regrade and Solaris. Like, just those two on their own. Regrade. Makes those colours a bit nicer. Tidies things up a little bit, it looks like. And then Solaris. It makes space look a bit more spacey. I can't quite explain what it's doing. I can't quite put it into the words, but it looks... amazing. Oh, let's get a good look over Earth. The effect's off. Oh, look how dirty. Like, it really fixes a lot of things up. So you got like the kind of square cut off bit there, a bit of the weird texturing, lighting there. Looks a bit funny. Then you turn the whole effect on, and it seems to clear a lot of it up. Yeah, after this video, I'm going to play around. I'm going to spend a few more hours playing around with this. See if we can get a follow-up video done. Because this, I think this is something we can really tweak and play around with and really get a sort of remastered look of UT2004. Oh, the extra lights from the flames. The golden person up there, the reflectivity on it. Got the extra like golden glow coming from it. Alright, let's do it. Boom. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's still some UI HUD elements that the effects mess around with because of that whole depth buffer issue. But, I mean, there may be a way... Wow, yeah. There may be a way to get this game to run in a DirectX version higher than 8 or 9 natively without having to use a converter. I'm going to have to look into that as well. If we could get it to somehow run in 10 or DirectX 10 or 11 natively, that would really help a lot of things, I think. Alright, let's find another map. This should be a good test. Grassy Null. It looks like a rainy day on a grassy level. Okay. Okay. So this looks pretty good. Let's switch the effect off. Okay, yeah, that works pretty nicely. Not only does it work in like really bright environments, dark environments, also these kind of dull environments. You can see the extra shadowing being added on those sandbags there. Even a bit of extra kind of fogginess and a little bit of extra depth to those trees there. So let's turn the effect off and back on. Yeah, this really works very nicely to give it a much more of an effect of what the map is going for. Keeps the artistic style the map was going for. It'd work even better if we had dynamic sky color. It certainly adds to the depth and the darkness of this forest, as well as the extra realistic lighting. Like I said, it just looks like a lot of it is clipping to black out there. It just doesn't look quite right. With the effect on, it looks much more, you know, like trees and the actual proper light you'd get through trees, especially with the sunlight coming through the trees there. And I wonder if we can add God rays in as well. Maybe that'd be a bit too much. Whoa! Okay, that's probably a bit too extreme. Ah, the PPFX God rays won't compile. Okay, yeah, we won't worry about this too much. This is something I'm going to go away and tweak some more myself. Let's go to another map. We have Grendel Keep here, which is another rainy-ish map. Or very rainy map. So let's turn the effect off. And back on. Oh, yeah. Off. Oh, my God. That looks quite ugly, really. with sort of old textures and old lighting, and then cleans it right up. Wow, that's that's really quite effective. Off, on. Oh, look at the effect it has on those lights as well. Again, that isn't even RTGI doing that. I think that's Regrade and Solaris. Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay, I need to add Solaris and Regrade to UT99. Reshade just keeps getting better and better. So hopefully at some point we get a video from Yong and Stephanie Sterling and a few others, and they can really push the point through and make people aware of what's happening in terms of Unreal being needlessly erased from history for some reason. But here we are on Magma, and oh yeah, we got that lovely flag effect, the red flag waving around. I don't really know if that's physically correct that the flag would make that much light from it as it waves around, but it still looks so good. And this music reminds me a bit of Doom Eternal. So it's kind of Doom Eternal before Doom Eternal. Oh yeah, there's probably even more color correction that I can do as well. But I'm pretty happy with this. Again, just look at the depth it gives to the scene out there. And it really hides the imperfections of that skybox. Oh, look at that depth of field effect. Oof. Oh man, that looks so cool. Effect off. And back on. Okay, let's check out another one. This one's kind of small. Gotta check out Smote. See, that looks really good. Almost, it probably looks as good as you think UT2004 looked in your memory, but that's how it looked. Wow, the difference there. Oh god, I love the extra lighting effect. Look, there's like no lighting effect from that fire there. None. Just a static like orange light, and then turn it on, and then suddenly you've got this dynamic flame light coming from it. Off. Ooh, good lord. That old pre-baked lighting. Flat textures. There. Look at the difference. Whew. So here we go. Let's go to the old look. Oh my god. And back to Reshade. Oh man. That is crazy. Even the wood looks more like wood. Oh jeez. There's another Egyptian-based map here. Just shows what you can do with some simple settings. Solaris is doing so much there. Tempted to try and add another thing in real time here. So we've got levels, special transforms, color remapping, god knows. Split toning? What does that do? Oh my god. Okay, that's, whoa. That's a lot of settings. I don't know what any of them do. Whoa, okay. Yeah, that's real, yeah, that's definitely some color grading stuff. I'm not going to have to do a lot with that. Color balance, tone curve, color remapping, calibration, lift gamma gain, contrast exposure, filmic gamma. Okay. Ooh. Let's crank that exposure up a bit. That's what the filmic gamma does. Oh my lord. Turn the filmic gamma down a little bit. Oh, look at that vibrance. Turn that vibrance up just a smidge. I quite like that. Oh, and then you've got the RTGI darkening that area in there. Bouncing the light where it should. Oh man, look at this room. There's so much going on in here. That's very pleasing to my brain. Oh, it's like Christmas. Is the effect off? Oh my god. And the effect on. The sharpening of the textures. I can't get over how good that looks. So the good thing with DLC sharpen is you can pretty much crank it all the way up and it won't look over sharp. So if we could take that to 900 sharpen strength from 700, and I think that'd still be okay. Fixes up those textures. It's almost like a texture pack. Look at it. Like dirty maps down there, just a bit sloppy and a bit there. You know, accounting for like the what, 32 megabytes of VRAM people probably had back then. And then bam. Wow. Again, that is mostly gonna be Solaris. Oh my god. Solaris is incredible. How have I not used that before? Oh man, look at that. And off. And on. So if we actually put RTGI before Regrade and Solaris, I think that looks even better. It just makes that lighting look a little bit more natural, because it's not bouncing the lighting off of the extra lighting that Solaris is doing. It's just Solaris taking that lighting and doing its thing with it. Regrade there, and RTG illumination in between that and Solaris. Effect off and effect on. Actually, we want regrading RTGI, don't we? So we have that there. And then all the effects like complement each other. Man, that's Solaris on its own. Regrade on its own. RTGI on its own. And then RTGI, regrade, then Solaris. Oh god, that looks so good. Oh, look at that. Off and on. Go back to the lighting channel. Oh, as it spins around, the extra lighting being applied. I think we did try this last time as well. Effect off. Oh man, effect on. Yeah, we tried this map last time, I think, because it has blue crystals on it. And again, we've lost the depth buffer. Come back. Because there's lots of nice lighting as well. Effect off and back on. It's got a nice little outdoorsy area. Off. On. Oh, it really makes those stars shine more. Oh, the crystals. Off. Then back on. There we go. Oh, man. That just looks... Oh, yes. You have a DOF on them. Oh, man. With that sort of fake war effect as well. Oh, man. Look at the skybox. Effect off. Back on. It just makes the lighting look so good. It takes what RTGI does and then just adds another level to it. And the fireflies there as well. That's so good. Goop God. This is for the effect on. And then we switch the effect off. Back on. Effect off. Back on. Effect off. And on. Yeah, I'm just kind of guessing what I'm doing with a lot of these settings. If you had someone who actually knew what they were doing, you could really... Man, you could just make this game incredible. Effect off. And on. Whew. Wow. Okay, let's check out one more map, otherwise we will be here forever. Alright, here we are, Hyperblast 2. Oh yeah. Depth of field. Look at all that lighting. Effect off. And effect back on. Jeez, the difference. If there was a way to dynamically make some of these floors look reflective, like you can switch on SSR and things like that, but they will affect every surface, so that's why I don't have them on. But if you were to get some sort of SSR, it looks good here because it's metal, then you start to make the game look way more advanced. Jesus, wow. Do some tweaking, but that does look pretty damn good. But it needs a lot of tweaking, and it does hit that frame rate quite hard, so we'll leave that for now. But Jesus, look at the difference. That is nuts. This is really good for showing it off. Effect off. And then on. Just makes the whole map feel so much more than it is in the original game. So that is where we're going to wrap things up. I'm going to keep looking into this and see if I can improve it, as well as take Regrade and Solaris and DOF into Unreal and Unreal Tournament, and maybe UT3 and maybe even UT4, see if we can make that look even better. It's good to be able to do something with Unreal, keep it up to date, make it a little better, given that Epic don't want anything to do with it. There's no reason why this game should have to die. There's no reason why any game... They're delisting other games as well. It's not just Unreal Tournament. So there's no reason why any game should disappear like this. It's like that game Darkspore and I think a couple of others. Just games you just can't play anymore. And it's really sad when that happens. And we shouldn't have to deal with that. You should always be able to go back and play a game, especially with live services. All the benefits that live services have. Massive downside is they can just switch the whole thing off whenever they want. And you can just lose the game. Yeah, let's keep Unreal alive. please leave a like on the video. Let me know of any additional settings that could be added, and check out the ini file settings in the description, as well as links to how to get this working, previous video on this, and also the FOV fix as well. Stick around for more tech videos that are coming out. I've got a lot more tech projects coming up over the course of 2023, as well as a whole bunch more of Unreal Tournament and various gaming videos coming up over 2023. I hope everyone's staying safe. I hope everyone's having a good new year so far. Let me know how yours is going in the first week. I will see you in the next video.